Hey, this is Al McGee with your entertainment ticket at www.yeticket.com. I am a film critic, and I'm going to talk about this film called Saving Mr. Banks. This is a Disney film about Walt Disney and the way he tries to get the copyright to Mary Poppins from this woman named Pamela Lyndon Travers, who wrote Mary Poppins, and the troubles he had in 1961 to obtain the rights to Mary Poppins. Well, we all know Mary Poppins was eventually made. We all know that. But what did he have to go through? Because sometimes we think of these movie makers, hey, we think of an idea, we buy the rights, and we make it. And we think everything goes along smoothly. But in this story, which I am glad they put out, it shows not all the time, even with a famous filmmaker like Walt Disney. In this film stars Emma Thompson. She plays Pamela Lyndon Travers. Tom Hanks, Paul Giamatti, Bradley Whitford, Colin Farrell, Jason Schwartzman, and P.J. Novak. Well, anyway, P.L. Travers, as they called her. Well, she was Australian, but she lives in England now, London. But she wrote Mary Poppins a long time ago. And when we catch up with her in this film, well, no one's buying Mary Poppins no more. She's running out of money. So a lawyer said, hey, look, go talk to Disney, see what he has to say. Otherwise, you're going to have to sell your house and get rid of everything you have and live on the streets because you got nothing left. Now, Disney must have been in the late 40s sometime. He promised his daughters, hey, I'm going to make this film of Mary Poppins. That was very important to him to keep his promise to his daughters. He's going to make this film, Mary Poppins. But it took him over 20 years to get the rights to make it. So by the time he made it, they were grown. So did they still love it at that time? I think they did. Well, anyway, so P.L., she comes to, Anaheim, California, comes to the office. But she gives him all kind of, things that she wants to do about this film. She wants to say so about the film, songs. She didn't want it animated or anything like that. So finally she goes and works with the Sherman Brothers, and she also works with other people in the Disney organization so she can look at it and give her okay about Mary Poppins. But she still did not give in to Walt Disney. Walt Disney was frustrated. He really was. So she finally went back to London because she couldn't, understand or give in to Walt Disney. But throughout this film, there were a lot of flashbacks of P.L. life. In fact, her father was played by Colin Farrell. He was a banker in the early 1900s. He was an Australian. They lived in Australia, but he was also an alcoholic. But in my opinion, he was the early Walt Disney of his time. But unfortunately, he had no outlets. He had no cartoons, no movies, no television, no radio, or anything to use his imagination, to put his imagination out. So he drank. And it shows some of the stories and some of the things that happened to her as a young child living in Australia, but really concerning her whole family, her mother, and her also other siblings too. But soon, Mary Poppins was made. She had to give in. But the fascinating thing about this story is this. This story shows another side of Walt Disney, even though it's brief, it's not very long, on how he operated. Also, it showed how this woman, P.L., how she was very concerned about the image of her books and also of her imagination, how it's going to be used, Mary Poppins. I enjoyed this. It was almost a tearjerker for me because I understood both characters and I understood why she acted in an compromising position that she was in. Also, Emma Thompson in this role. This is the best I've seen Emma Thompson in a long time. You know, we just saw Tom Hanks getting, rescued. I gotta get this film. 4 palm trees. This is a Disney movie with 4 palm trees. Excellent film, Saving Mr. Banks. One of the best films of the year. You heard that from me, Al McGee. I have a lot of imagination too, but I have an outlet. And it's called
We Are Your Entertainment Ticket, that's right. YETV.com. We are your